Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin, and it's Saturday, so it is time for my weekly roundup. What is a weekly roundup, you might say, Erin? It is my week. Generally my week in crafting, but I've started talking about books I'm reading at the end. So I'll have a little snippet on books at the very end. If you're not interested in that and only want the crafty goodness, watch the beginning part and you'll get it. Yeah. So I have no completed objects to share with you. Happens sometimes. But I do have 4 that I would like to show today. I'm not going to show the Heartthrob blanket because that's my Thursdays project. You'll only see that one on Thursdays. So let's actually go knit, crochet, knit, crochet. So first, I am still, oops, this is the back panel. Wrong panel. There we go. Here it is. So I'm still plugging away on the back panel of Chomps' Dinosaur Sweater. I've completed the length to the point where now I'm going to have to separate to do the shoulders and the collar. So just a few more rows on this and it will be done. I was hoping to have this front panel completed for this weekend. Didn't pan out. And that's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles, as it were. So this, once again, let me pull the pattern out, is a paid pattern from, I bought it off of Ravelry, but she also has her own website, iknitdesigns.com. And the name of this one, it was very reasonably priced, but it is a sweater and a hat combo, and Chomps loves Triceratops, so I got the Triceratops one. I Knit Designs. There it is. It's both the sweater and the hat pattern are included here. Denny Gould is her name. And yes, she's prolific. There are tons of various things. She suggests the intarsia technique for this. I see no reason if you didn't want to, why you couldn't do floats. The floats would get quite long at times, but I think it's up to you. I did do intarsia because it's not a technique I favor, so I thought that would give me nice practice, and it did. So I'm very excited about that project. And so I've got the front to complete, the 2 arms, sew it up, and he will have his sweater. Yay! And then my second project is my car project. Brian was sweet enough to go out to the car and grab it for me, so I did not have to brave the cold. So one problem I am having is I am losing stitch markers left and right inside my car. So I've got my needle, or my hook, stuck in this one. Okay, so this is the Lavender Cardigan, designed by Melissa from Melissa Crochets with Love. It's one of the cardigans where you basically make 2 big panels, and you have to make it long enough so it will drape over, and then you seam it up and you got a cardigan. You can decide what, if any, sleeves you want to add or anything like that. So I have finished I finished 2 full stitch pattern repeats. I'm going to go for a 3rd. And I think after the 3rd, it should be big enough, because I am thinking of adding more of a border to the edge, like a half double crochet a couple times around to make more of a kind of like a border like this on it. We'll see. I don't know. And I am also debating on the sleeves. I could leave it sleeveless, because with this design, it'll have a short drop. So it'll give it kind of a capped sleeve effect if I don't do anything. I could just extend it a little bit to go down there. I love half sleeves or 3/4 sleeves. So right now my brain is saying go 3/4 sleeve. but we'll see how the spirit moves me when I get to this point. Her patterns are available on Ravelry. I'll have that pattern linked down below. I don't know why I've suddenly got very stuffed up. I'm sorry. I will also have the dinosaur pattern. All of these patterns will be linked down below if you're interested in checking any of them out. My other pattern or project that I've been working on is my Maja cardigan. Again, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I say that every time I show it. Maja. It's a drop design free pattern. There you go. And I am on the sleeve, the second sleeve. And so this one is so, oops, I've managed to wrap the sleeve up in my tote bag handle. Okay, there we go. Second sleeve. And so I am actually, it's a bit like a stitch sampler cardigan. So you do this stitch pattern for a certain, I'm showing you the back side. You do this stitch sampler for a while. And I was showing before, for some reason down here it became very holy. And then up here it corrected itself to how it was before. And I ripped this section out 3 times. This is my 3rd attempt. And I just said, I'm not doing it again. I don't know what I'm doing. But obviously I corrected it after just maybe those 3 inches. So who knows? It's a mystery. So then I did this section, and now I'm doing the 3rd kind of stitch section, and you do this repeat. You do this chart 4 times. So I am halfway through my first round of that pattern, and then after that it's just shaping the shoulder. When I did the first sleeve, this section flew. So I am very confident that this sleeve is not far from completion, and therefore the entire sweater is close to completion, which would be very wonderful. I do not recall exactly when I started working on this one, but I know I was working on it last summer. So I believe I started it late spring, early summer of 2022. So getting that done will be a wonderful feeling. And sorry, I don't know what's happening to my nose. I am very sorry. For my final project to show, ooh, my hair got stuck in my chair. I am doing the Sophie's Universe crochet along with numerous other channels. I could not even attempt to name them all. There is a hashtag Sophie 2023. So please be sure to check that out. You will find all the other channels doing it and using the hashtag. I know Carrie the Yarny Elephant was the one who was kind of directing the hashtag. So if you want more information, go check out hers. There is like a Zoom room that some people are doing. I think there's a messenger group. There's lots of communication ways for other things. I struggle in group texts. I get overwhelmed very easily in them. So I'm not in the messenger group, and I don't like doing Zoom. So I'm not in either. I'm just kind of off in my own doing it, but I am loving looking at the other ladies. I'm checking out that hashtag and checking out their designs. So there's a couple people doing it in monochrome, which is gorgeous. Robin from Roaming with Rover is, and oh, I was just watching it last night. I'm sorry. I don't know. If I think of it, I will say. Otherwise, definitely check out hashtag Sophie 2023. You'll see it. But this is my, and people are basically just working at their own pace. I've decided I'm going to just do a part a week. So this is my second update on Sophie, and this is the completion of part 2. I'm doing this as a stash buster. So these are all just stash yarns. So part 1 ended here. This is part 2. And so this is actually 2 different yarns, but you can kind of get a, there you go, you can see better that they're actually two different yarns. But yeah, so I don't have any like plan of where I'm using colors. I'm using it as a stash buster. I grabbed, what was it, 4 or 5 colors you needed for the beginning? 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. Threw it in. For the next week, I threw another new color in the bag, which was this one. And now for part 3, I've thrown another new scrap ball in the bag. And we're going to just keep yanking out colors and building it. And I kind of think doing it that way, I will pull, like, I should hopefully have a kind of a natural ombre of colors. Because, like, I didn't have much of these pinks here to start with. They were mini hanks. So I'll run out. And this blue was not a very large ball to begin with either. But I had a decent amount of the purple. So, you know, that'll pull through a little further and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm excited to see this to continue to develop, and I'll show you what part 3 looks like. I did not buy the book from Amazon. If you go to her website, which is lookatwhatimade.net, she's got it free, and there's even a printer-friendly link. So you can get a printer-friendly version off of her website. And so that's what I'm doing. And it's nice. You get all the pictures and everything like that too. There is a tutorial. Someone did video tutorials. And she links them on her blog. So the pattern designer links them on her blog. They are sanctioned tutorials by the pattern maker. So I don't think I would feel any compunction from just using those to make the blanket. I have not referred to the videos yet, but if there was ever a time when I'm like, I don't understand what's going on there, I would totally go check out that video series, and I do have it saved in my playlists, so I can go do that when I need to. I'm assuming there's going to be a time when I need to. But yeah, I'm excited. This is beautiful. And what I really love is that I'm using the scraps in my stash to make a more heirloom beautiful thing. Like, I was just thinking of making a straight, you know, moss stitch or single crochet scrap blanket where you just grab, and you don't, you know, you just make it and it looks gloriously homemade, and you hope there's some cohesion in the colorways, but you don't really care. But this, it's more planned out. It looks more planned, even if it wasn't. So yeah, that's where we're at. I am realizing I never updated my project planner for this coming week, so I'm using this year my Crojo Corner project planner. Yes. This was Crojo Corner on YouTube. This was a gift to me from Ray at Ray's Yarn Addiction. So thank you, Miss Ray. I am loving it. So I've already listed my yearly goals. My monthly goals are to complete the Maja cardigan and to complete the Dino Sweater. I would also like to make one tutorial and clear the sewing table, which I did. I have cleared my sewing table, so it is available for use. One thing I do have to do, and I will try to remember to do today, is I took my kind of overhead tripod thingy down to the kitchen table to do those yarn reviews on, so I need to bring that back upstairs so I can do that again, or use this table for tutorials and yarn reviews and such again. Okay, so weekly goals. That was last week. This is this week. Part 2. Okay, part 2 of Sophie's Universe. Check. Part 3. No! I forgot it was my coup de grace. I have one more thing to show you. Thank goodness I did that. I would have forgotten to do this. I had 5 projects to share. I did it! I finished clue 1 of my Twists and Turns Stephen West MKAL. I finished braiding these right before bed last night. I am stoked. It is done. And let me tell you, this is the first time I have actually enjoyed doing an I-cord bind off. And I think it turned out beautifully. So thank you for forcing me to continue to use that skill and develop it, Mr. West. I appreciate it. And these braids, I watched the beginning of his tutorial to get me started, and then once we just kind of got into the stitch repeat, I didn't watch it until I needed to do the braiding, and I had to review the Kitchener stitch. I don't do it a lot, so I followed his little tutorial and example for how to do the Kitchener stitch to end it. And the whole time I was working on it, I was trying to figure out in my head how to do the braids, and I couldn't figure it out. But the minute he started the tutorial, I was like, Eureka! That is so simple. Oh my goodness. But here you go. It is beautiful. So I'm using Blackbird Sycamore yarns. This colorway, which is the contrast color according to the pattern, is Pink Jasper. The more burgundy color is called Cleric, and I am going to have to go cake up my third color, because in Clue 2 I am going to add my accent color, my pop color, which is a golden brownie color. It's called Cinnamon. Also, I'm using their sock weight base because this calls for 500 gram hanks of fingering sock weight yarn. So there we go. I am so stoked. I am beyond stoked. And that's seeing my second goal here is what made me say, wait a second, I forgot to show that. So I wanted to finish Clue 1 of the Twists and Turns, which again, I have done. Thought I was running out of pens, and now I'm chock-a-block full. Okay, my third goal was to finish part 2 of the Heart Throb. I kind of went through and sectioned it out myself to try to figure out where I wanted it to be part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. I did not meet that goal. I was roughly 2.5, 3.5, somewhere in there, rows short, but that's okay. It was a goal. My overall goal is to finish that blanket this month, as it's part of that collaboration. As other goals, I had to make a scrunchie and make a hat. Neither of those happened. My goal was to finish that part of the Heartthrob blanket and then have time to do those in addition, and that didn't happen, and I am a-okay with that. So for goals for next week, let's go ahead and say projects to complete. We need to do part 3 of Sophie. We're going to go ahead and do part 2 Heartthrob, and we're going to go ahead and do part 3 Heartthrob. Stretch goals. Let's do it. Okay, and then stretch goals. Let's do it. Maja cardigan. I want to have it. Okay, I'm just going to say completely done. I was going to say maybe just have it knit, but no. We're going to push through. We're going to sew it together. We're going to do it. Other projects, we're going to just move forward. Scrunchie and hat. And I want to do I want to film a tutorial or a review. And I'm going to say filmed because I don't think I've got space on the calendar to actually post that next week, but to at least film one. So there we go. We did my goals. You know where we're at. And then let's look at my calendar real quick. We've got December. I forgot to close off. So let's close off December because you're done. This is the pattern I won from the God Box with Seta, the very first thing I ever won from YouTube. I am going to do the weekly spotlight, the weekly roundup today. Tomorrow, you're going to see another video for me, another new company who had reached out. I'm going to review their products. On Monday, I'm going to do just a quick little recap on the Creator Spotlight, just to bring it back to mind. On Tuesday, I'm going to pick a winner for the giveaway for the other company, for the first company, the Paint by Numbers, Art Create Love. We're going to do that drawing. And then Wednesday, I'm going to have a surprise for you. And then on Thursday, it's going to be Things We're Making Thursday. And then next Friday, we're going to have a Poor Decision with Brian. And I will also pick a winner for the Joanne's yarn. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the video I posted yesterday afternoon. I think it was afternoon. I think I posted at 4 p.m. So I showed a Joanne's haul and showed some new yarns from Big Twist. And check it out. You don't have to watch the whole thing. At the end, there's a walkthrough of Joanne's, and I have not mastered the skill of holding a camera and moving a cart and talking to my daughter all at the same time. So if shaky camera work bothers your tummy, please don't watch it. But watch the first half. You won't regret it. And then that will bring us back to our weekly roundup on Saturday and a Sophie's Universe update. I've also been doing little shorts that are just a Sophie update, so you might see that pop up as well. So that's the week in YouTube coming. I also got in the mail my collaboration with Colleen, the Between Friends collaboration. I'm hoping she got mine, but I haven't checked and I haven't heard. So I'm going to check on that. And that brings us to reading. So I have reached roughly my halfway point. Nice. So I am on page 350, and there are 662 pages in this book. So past halfway. There's a couple of nights where I didn't read, but there was one night I read 6 chapters. So I'm more than made up for it. I continue to enjoy it. I'm reading The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I like it. The world building is beautiful. That's the one thing you hear about this book, is how fantastic the world building is. The story is great. I think it's a very interesting, unique way to tell a story. This is the first book of a trilogy. The first 2 books have been released. The third book, there's controversy surrounding. I trust that it will come out at some point, but if you are a person who gets annoyed or really wants to have like the whole story completed before you start reading a book, don't do this yet. Don't do it yet. There is a third book written that is relevant to the series, but it is not the third book of the series. The premise is that a chronicler has come into a tavern and met, we'll call him an adventurer, and has asked to chronicle his story. And he said, okay, I will tell you, but it will take me 3 days. This is day 1. The second book is supposed to be day 2, and presumably the third book will be day 3, completing his tale. But yeah, I am enjoying it. If you're a fan of the sword and sorcery fantasy genres, I think you might like it. But like I said, if you are someone who really needs a story to be completed, if you don't want to be stuck in the George R.R. Martin bucket of when is the next book coming, don't. It's a wonderful book, but I think your feelings would be better placed elsewhere. We want to, prevent that anxiety in some people. But yeah, so I've been in the George R.R. Martin boat for a while. It doesn't bother me. I figure at least on this one, I'm only waiting for one more book. I'm also a big Outlander fan. And I do trust Diana I believe you say Gabaldon, but I don't know. Her name has so many letters. She seems to be pumping out those books at a heavy pace. And then she has, I believe there's one more book to the conclusion of the Outlander series. And then she has other like prequel and adjacent books that she's already published and more that she has planned out. So I don't think the Outlander universe is ending anytime soon. Although the story of Jamie and Claire in their main might be coming to a conclusion. And I hope it's not heart-wrenching. I don't know. I have not read the latest book. I haven't read Tell the Bees That I Have Gone yet. But with that title, I was prepared for it to be absolutely heart-wrenching. But what I feared, I think for a while it was rumored that that would be the final book in the Outlander series. And so the rumor mills were flying heavy with the bees because the whole premise, like the title comes from the, as I'll say, tradition of when a beekeeper passes, someone has to go tell the hive that their keeper is gone. So go tell the bees that I have gone. So people, oh no, who's going? Is it Jamie? Is it Claire? Oh. So I don't know who went. I haven't read the book and I've stayed away from spoilers on that one. But I have blabbered on long enough. Please check out my other videos. Please like, share, subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. At 1,500, I'm going to do the next milestone giveaway. So that might not be too far off. Let's see. But yeah, so I'm going to, I guess channel plan wise, we're going to do like 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. And I think we'll do maybe every 400 up to 5K and then plan from there. I mean, I'm in this for the long haul, peeps. Let's think big picture long haul. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Let me know if you have any projects you're working on or looking forward to or anything. I love it. If you ever have any pattern ideas you think I might enjoy, send them on my way. Linda McMurtry, I believe you are just chomping at the bit to get me going with socks, and I plan to. Socks are on my docket after I finish the Dino Sweater, but she has sent me a couple of sock patterns and I appreciate it so much. And also, Deb, who sent me the email about the Vogue knitting sale, thank you. We might have a little Vogue knitting book haul coming soon. Bye-bye.